So Aries, your week beginning the 10th of November forecast sees a contrast between the fire energies, of course you're a fire sign, of where your ruler is located in Sagittarius, along with Mercury, now in a retrograde, the communicator, but also the watery energies that are going on in Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Watery energy is much more to do with intuition. Fire is about action. And you could find yourself in the mood to take action right from the off at the start of this week. And the reason for that is Mars is now in Sagittarius, which is about widening our horizons, being more independent and adventurous. But Mercury's there, but now in that retrograde, but they're very close together. And by the middle of the week on Wednesday, they come into an exact conjunction. The second in 5 successive conjunctions between these two planets. Now, Mercury in Sagittarius is asking us all to be very mindful of anything to do with ticketing, travel, higher education and contracts, and trying to slow things down and look at the details. But Mars in Sagittarius can be incredibly impatient to take that action. Furthermore, Uranus, the planet of change, has inverted back into the sign of Taurus, but retains an opposition to Mars, which can be a very igniting energy. And because Uranus in Taurus can be about spending money, one of the things you could find yourself impulsive about at the start of this week is splashing the cash on something that brings a sense of drama or excitement to your world. Now that could be some kind of travel plan, maybe a big ticket item. But the watery energy that's going on this week is potent too. Not least that Jupiter in Cancer, Jupiter is very much about hope, expansion and good fortune, also goes into a retrograde on Tuesday, but continues to link very productively to the Sun and Saturn, and that's starting to reach a climax at the very end of this week and will become exact at the start of next week. So if you can be just mindful of how things feel, it could just slow things down enough so you don't actually do something in such a rush that you end up with buyer's remorse. But I have to say, if you are travelling anywhere at the heart of this week, the combination between Mercury and Mars could make you very impatient. And of course, Mercury retrogrades can, as ever, but particularly in Sagittarius, where Mercury is detrimented, throw up issues with the railways, with ferries and with flights, cancellations, industrial pursuits, mechanical failures, technological glitches. It's all going to be going on, I feel. So just be aware that there is part of you that wants to do something in a very direct and actionful way as you go into this week. But if you go against your instincts, that's not necessarily going to be good for you. Now, also at the heart of this week, we do have a quarter moon in the fiery Leo. Now, the moon in Leo is a great chance for you to have some fun, be more sociable, to mix and mingle. You could find that someone in your circle has got an energy that you may find actually very hard to ignore. But there could be some kind of catch here, and it might not be the best for you or them to get too caught up in something that creates a more tricky situation going forward. So temptation can be very strong with that aspect. Conversely, if you're in any kind of connection with someone, a friend or a partner, and it does feel that you're being micromanaged and you can't do your own thing, that can cause some tension. But by the end of this week, despite Jupiter's retrograde, which can slow things down, particularly around commerce, and we are seeing the conditions potentially for an even greater slowdown in terms of the economy. I think by the end of this week, what you're being asked to do, whether it's to do with things you want to change in your life, the Sun in Scorpio, anything to do with your home and family, Jupiter, or anything to do with being really in touch with the deepest part of your nature, Saturn, you can reach into that as this week draws to a close. But it's just all managing the part of you that can get a real thrill by doing things very quickly, directly, and in the moment, which can bring a lot of excitement to the start of this week, but also could bring some glitches too. If you've yet to order your year 2026 personal horoscope, totally based on your unique birth data and 30% off, please see the link below for more.